Hey YouTube, Nurse Marc here. Do you need to take a multivitamin? That's the $39 billion question. See, the supplement industry is worth about $39 billion a year, and they do an amazing job of convincing you that you need to buy their products. So the question is, do you actually need a multivitamin? So our bodies are amazing recyclers, alright? It's why our caveman ancestors didn't die spontaneously from not enough phosphorus or magnesium in their diet. Because your body does a really good job of taking in micronutrients and just recycling them for use, and then when new sources come in, just replenishing and topping things up. So the question is then, if we're such great recyclers, do you actually need to take a multivitamin? And the answer is both yes and no. There's certain conditions where you're gonna want to think about taking a multivitamin, and then there's other conditions that you don't. So let's talk about the don't. If you take in enough fruits and vegetables in your diet, you have a varied micronutrient dense diet, then a multivitamin is absolutely of no use to you, right? You're basically just going to be peeing it out because anything you take in over your daily allotment or daily intake is literally going to get pissed out, all right? So if you have a good diet with micronutrient dense foods, you probably don't need to waste your money on a multivitamin. Having said that, if you don't eat fruits and vegetables and you have a crappy diet that consists of fast food and whatnot, simple over-the-counter micronutrient multivitamin might not actually even be enough for you. So what are some times when you actually do need to take a multivitamin? Well, the easiest and one that comes to mind the most is if you're pregnant. All right, those little parasites you got growing inside of you do a great job of sapping micronutrients from you while they grow. Terrible things. Run around, they poop and make noise and draw on walls. Ugh, I want to be a father one day. Anyways, pregnancy. So we see a lot of prenatal vitamins chock full of everything that a woman will lose while she's pregnant. So during pregnancy, a multivitamin is actually a really, really good idea. Prenatal vitamins are started right at the early stages of pregnancy and carried on through delivery. Talk to your doctor. I'm sure everybody knows about prenatal vitamins, but pregnancy is a great situation where you should be taking a multivitamin. So certain diseases and conditions will limit the ability of absorption of micronutrients in your GI tract. Stuff that comes to mind is like celiac disorder or ulcerative colitis. Things that can flare up and cause acute or chronic malabsorption of micronutrients. So you often find people like that will be on a micronutrient-dense multivitamin, usually prescribed by a doctor or maybe taking multiple a day so that you're topping up. You might even be taking in your daily allotment of, say, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, blah, 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 and you still don't get enough, even though you're taking in a good diet. So sometimes, because you can only eat so much, you will find people taking multivitamins in order to counteract or top up what that celiac or ulcerative colitis or malabsorptive disorder can't do. So those are instances where a multivitamin might be important as well. Certain medications can cause malabsorption of micronutrients as well as potentially overexcretion of micronutrients. Take like a proton pump inhibitor. So say you got GERD. I got GERD, right? Really bad heartburn. Eat too many spicy food too many days in a row or drink too much beer. Ugh. And then I get really bad heartburn. So sometimes people will be put on what's called a PPI. And what this does is it can decrease the pH of stomach acid or increase the amount of GI emptying in your stomach. And what that does is that doesn't give food enough time to either be absorbed in your stomach or it decreases the pH so it's not broken down as efficiently. So certain meds can cause problems with the absorption of micronutrients, right? The other time you might find that is with something like, say, like a loop diuretic like Lasix, so that basically a water pill is a common term, right? This can cause the overexcretion of certain things like magnesium, phosphorus, or most commonly salt. You lose a lot of salt when you're on a loop diuretic because you're supposed to. You pee all the time, right? So certain medications can cause either the malabsorption of micronutrients or the overexcretion of micronutrients. So in those cases, you're probably going to want to take a multivitamin as well. Another instance when you might need an multivitamin is as you get older. Now I'm 37. That's older, but I'm not old. Am I old? Ah, damn it, I'm old. All right. So as we get older, a couple things happens. One, your GI tract becomes a little bit less efficient at absorbing nutrients. That's just what happens when you get older. Nothing you can really do about it. Second thing is, as we get older, we often find we're being put on more and more medications to keep us alive. Beauty of medicine. And those medications can sometimes cause, as we talked about, malabsorption of micronutrients or the overexcretion of micronutrients. And lastly, your body works against you when you get older. Your appetite, your hunger, those things that signal you that you need to be eating decrease. So now you're on a bunch of medications that don't let you absorb micronutrients or overexcrete them. You don't feel like eating as much, and you're not eating as much, and your GI tract isn't as efficient. So as we get older, we see a lot of people being put on micronutrient-dense multivitamins Generally speaking, when you get above 50, sorry people over 50, but it's true. Like as we start to age, we do need to start looking at these things. Or if you're 30 and you're on 20 different medications, that's probably something you need to address. Also, why you're on 20 medications. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about recommended daily allowance. So not all multivitamins are made equal. That Centrum that you get over the counter might not cut it when it comes to taking a multivitamin. You need to look at a multivitamin for how much it has a percentage of your recommended daily allowance. And some multivitamins have a fraction of a percent of your recommended daily allowance of certain things, making them pretty much useless. It's very, very, very difficult to get a multivitamin in a single pill that has everything that you need in a day. However, there are multi-packs that you can get that you space out like twice a day or 3 times a day that just take your RDA and then space it out over the course of the day. And because you're taking probably like 4 or 5 pills in that multivitamin multiple times a day, it does help supplement your RDA or your recommended daily allowance. So like something like a Centrum over the counter is going to top up a little bit. Something like a multi-pack is going to top up a lot and be much more efficient. The problem is that multi-pack is going to cost a lot more money than a Centrum over the counter. I mean, I don't take a multivitamin because I do have a varied diet, but I know like a month's supply of, say, like an animal pack versus like a month's supply of Centrum, one's going to be like a fraction of the cost. So maybe like 20% of the cost versus the animal pack. That's probably going to be more efficient at your taking in your RDA. So let's say that you are that person who doesn't eat fruits, doesn't eat vegetables, you just like your steak and your cheeseburgers, and God bless you. Not a great longevity plan, but who the hell am I to tell you otherwise? For that person, yeah, absolutely a multivitamin should be in your repertoire or in your upcoming future. I would suggest a multi-pack because if you are totally devoid in fruits and vegetables, and I know a couple people that are, taking a multi-pack multiple times a day is not the same as eating fruits and vegetables. It's not, but at least it's something, all right? And if you don't want to do that, just taking a once-a-day Centrum is fine as well. At least you're getting something. In those instances, something is better than nothing, right? So do what you can to try and get something in your system. That's it, boys and girls. Pretty simple topic. For the vast majority of people that are watching this channel, you probably have an absolutely stellar diet and training schedule, and a multivitamin is going to do absolutely nothing for you. However, if on the other hand, your diet lacks a little bit, maybe you're not the biggest fan of fruits and vegetables, you get them in here and there, or you don't eat them at all, that's why multivitamins are there. I would always recommend real whole foods before you take a supplement or a pill. However, if you're just not going to eat fruits and vegetables, that's why multivitamins are there. Like and subscribe, questions and comments down below, and as always, eat like a bodybuilder who eat fruits and vegetables and train like a powerlifter.